Hello, I'm Dave Mac and welcome to my TEW 2020 save, Playing with the Big Boys, a 1995 save where I'm booking as WCW. A few of you might actually be getting a bit of deja vu and thinking, oh, I might have seen this before. You would have done. I actually was running this save a while ago, a couple of years ago. The actual save got a bit corrupted and I had a few issues with it, and I did have a YouTube series of it, but it kind of disappeared because I couldn't get the game working again. So it's something that I've always had on the back burner, but I thought I'm going to kind of recreate what I did and go over it again, and we're going to kind of relaunch that because I do like a little bit of 1990s wrestling, and especially trying to relive the WCW and WWE WWF era. The premise of this is we want to outlast how long Nitro did originally, which was until the 26th of March, which was my birthday in 2001. That was the last episode of Nitro there ever was. So what we want to do is we ideally want to outlast that. So I'm in 1995 now. I've got to book 6 years worth of wrestling, so fingers crossed we manage that. And the second goal on top of that is I want to basically take over WWE. So I want to overthrow Vince McMahon, get the WWF on side with me, and basically rewrite history, but do it the other way around, if that makes sense. So this is just going to be an introduction little video. I don't want to spend too long on this one. I want to kind of go over it. What my plan is I'm going to go over this as a little introduction. I'm going to have videos, some perhaps live streams, which I've been doing my 21st Century Wrestling saves. I've been live streaming some of that. I'm going to live stream some of the booking process on this one, and then just do proper videos on YouTube of the results, and probably, depending if I get a chance, I will do a written diary to go alongside it on the Grey Dog forums and post some results up on Facebook. So hopefully whatever tickles your fancy, you can kind of get in there and get involved and see what's going on. So what we're basically doing, we're going to have a quick look around the game world as it stands. So we'll dive right in. I guess this is quite an interesting one. Welcome to TEW magazine here. This is the man here. It's Bret Hart. This is the guy I really want to bring in. He is, this is the top dog as far as I'm concerned. He might be a little bit old at 37 game-wise, but this is going to be the man I want to bring into WCW at some point and kind of rewrite history and actually have him booked well rather than the kind of disaster that he was. So that's what's going on here. We're not going to go through this in too much details. I'm just going to go kind of high-level stuff with what's going on, look around a few bits and bobs, see how the game world's looking. First thing is, this mod has been slightly changed from when I last played it, and we now have Eric Bischoff, who is the CEO of WCW. My user character, I'm actually Dusty Rhodes. We're giving the book to Dusty, who's going to be the man who's going to try and finish his story or something such like, and overthrow WWF. But my user character is Dusty Rhodes because I quite like Dusty. He's got a lot of upside to him. He's a good, solid character and quite a nice guy for back then compared to what a lot of the scumbags we'll be encountering. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with him, but we've not worked that out. So that's one of the first things here. If we look here, we need to have a roster of 26, and we've got 52 at the moment, so lots of extra bodies there that we can deal with. We've got a few people who need new gimmicks. We've got Kamala running out his contract, and then we've got some managers here without clients. I mean, guys like Arn Anderson is down as a manager. We'll ditch that from him. We're not going to worry about all of these people. We've got Teddy Long. So some kind of interesting stuff there. Production department, got some warnings. I'll sort that out, and we've got we're below the broadcast quality. Cool, I'll sort that. It's not a problem. So first of all, let's look at the roster. And as you can imagine, it's 1995 in WCW. We've got a fairly bloated roster with some weird and wonderful names that are on here. So if we look at our major stars, I'm pretty happy with this at the moment. We've got Hulk at the top. He's clearly our big man. He's working his All-American babyface gimmick. That's absolutely no problem. 90s everywhere. I mean, this guy is Mr. Wrestling at the moment. He is the man. He's our champion. He's our WCW heavyweight champion. We're going to base a lot around him, much like they did in Nitro. I've done a lot of research on the kind of mid-90s wrestling. I used to do a podcast on it. I want to try and stay quite true to how Nitro was booked at the time. So that does mean we are going to spam the life out of our big names, our lower to mid-carders. They're going to fairly be non-existent jobbers. I won't have loads of them turning up on Nitro, so we're going to have to try and work around that. But this is going to be spamming the big names. Hulk Hogan, we're going to base loads around him. 42, he's kind of probably a little bit older than I'd like, but yeah, this guy is the peak of it. We've got Lex Luger here, who's another babyface who would have just come in. He just joined WCW at this time, so that was a big coup for them, so that's really good. And he's a reasonable star, so we're quite happy with that. We've got Randy Savage up there as well. Again, 85's pop, really big guy. It's another babyface. We're quite babyface heavy in our main event scene, but that's not too bad. Then we've got Ric Flair, 46. It's a little bit old, but we know Ric Flair will probably wrestle till the day he dies. So this guy is absolutely superb. He's working heel, Nature Boy gimmick. We're going to have the Four Horsemen, who I think I'm going to relaunch. So if anyone's got any ideas on who we can stick in the Four Horsemen with Mr. Flair and Mr. Anderson, that'll be really good. I want to kind of try and make it slightly different and interesting compared to what it was. But Ric Flair is definitely going to get quite a big push for the world title as well, to keep that kind of main event stuff going on. We got the Stinger. Who would have thought in 2024 we'd still be watching Sting sort of fall off ladders and through tables and whatnot in AEW? This is the man back then. Sting, 36 years old school face gimmick. I mean, this man is absolutely white hot at this time. He is the 90s personified when he had the face paint and the bleach blonde hair. I mean, this is Mr. WCW. So again, another guy who's going to get some heavy pushing as well, so that's really good. And we've got the Giant, Paul White. Again, who would have thought in 2024 we'd still be seeing him wrestling, pottering around in AEW like he can't walk. But 24 years of age, he's working as a heel in the Dungeon of Doom, which was obviously quite a big stable at the time. Personally, I think his pop on this in the 80s is a little bit generous. I don't think he was quite this over this early in 1995. He was big and he was around the Dungeon of Doom, but I don't think he was that popular. But you know, we'll go with it because we need another heel up there. My problem is, and I spoke about this on live the other day with another guy called Red Hill Eagle, who was talking about how he loves these kind of big, muscular, big, heavy monster kind of wrestlers. I'm not the biggest fan of them. I find them a bit tricky to book, but as we've got the one in the Giant, Paul White, we're going to roll with it. We'll see what we can do with him, but he's at the top end, so expect to see him squashing a lot of people. If we then go down to stars, this is where it gets a little bit worrying. Our stars are Bobby the Brain Heenan, who is obviously a commentator and a manager, and Dusty Rhodes, which again, manager, colour, and a road agent. So this is where we're going to start getting, and this is what a WCW problem was. You had those big names, and then there was the kind of nothing else, and then they dropped down to kind of really solid, good in-ring wrestlers. But yeah, it's a problem. So we need to build up these stars pretty quickly, because we've got it's a big jump from those pops in the 80s down to the guys who in our well-known will be in those kind of 60s and 65, 70 kind of range. Again, here we've got a decent roster though. We've got Arn Anderson, we've got the big boss man, Booker T. This is a guy who's going to get a bit of a push. We've got him in Harlem Heat at the moment with Stevie Ray. Stevie Ray's 37 and getting on a bit and probably isn't destined for as big a things as Booker is. So Booker's going to get a push. Another big name that's going to get a push, Brian Pillman. I think he was absolutely fantastic at this time. Completely underrated, really, by many, I think, unless you really go back and watch just what a great star he was. I'm going to push him to the moon. 33. Skill-wise, he's got everything I'm looking for. We've got some really good numbers coming in here. His physicals, his fundamental skills, and all of this is only going to get bigger and better. So that's really good. Microphone charisma, acting, star quality. Oh, I mean, he's a TEW wet dream, isn't he? This is the guy we want to push. So yeah, Brian Pillman's going to get a lot. Chris Benoit, here's an interesting one. What we think of Chris Benoit as a person, I guess, is neither here nor there with this, I guess. It's a kind of serious one because I don't want to completely ignore him because this is kind of a game world and it's not reality. We know in the wrestling world we get a lot of people that have got shady pasts, and I don't want to have to go through and completely rewrite history with everyone disappeared. So I will be having Chris Benoit in here. I will be using Chris Benoit. I'm not going to be referring to Chris Benoit as the person and Chris Benoit in real life because we don't like him. But to me, I love TEW. I love the immersion of it. But Chris Benoit is just a line of code in this to me. I'm going to completely detach myself from what he did as a person, but I will still be booking him because, you know, he was an important part of the WCW time, so I think it is only fair that I keep him in there. Again, as we can see, he's obviously was a great talent in ring, so we'll see what we can do with him. Outside of that, other interesting ones, Diamond Dallas Page, 39. We know he went on to be a huge part of WCW, so I want to give him a little bit of respect and time, and I also do DDP Yoga, so big up Diamond Dallas Page. But as I say, outside of that, it's not a great load of talent in here either. There's not loads of people jumping out here that we really want to immediately push. I mean, and we're also quite light on the faces as well. So we're going to have to build some people and build them pretty quickly. We go down to recognisable. Again, we've got quite a lot down here. No one overly exciting. We've got Eddie Guerrero, obviously an absolute star. I was a big fan of Scott Norton. I was a big Scott Norton fan, and he's actually a really nice guy. Nowadays, he seems quite a nice chap. So I'm a big Scott Norton fan, so I want to push him a little bit. We've got Sabu, we've got William Regal. Obviously, as you can tell by my voice, I'm English, so I want to push William Regal to the moon. So yeah, we've got a few people down here we can kind of work with and maybe make things happen. Disco Inferno, Glenn Gilberti. The geezer's an idiot in real life now, so I might just job him out just to please myself. And then we're going to go down to our unimportant, which is our complete jobbers, and we have got loads of them. Tony Schiavone, who's that guy? He's never going to mean me anything, is he? Eric Bischoff, he's a nobody. Where will he end up in wrestling lore? Who knows? But we've got quite a lot of guys here, and quite a lot of them are fairly unimportant. Got the Renegade, which is our Ultimate Warrior ripoff, but he is our television champion, so God knows what we'll do with him. We've got Rhino. They've got a lot of guys down here, but these are our jobbers, so we're going to use them as such. They're not going to do like Justin. Oh, look at that, Justin Thunder Liger, awesome. I think he's there for a few weeks in it. We only have a short contract on there. Yeah, he's only here on loan, so he's got 2 appearances remaining. So I don't know what we can even do with that, but we'll try and think of something up. So yeah, we've got a lot of jobbers basically here, so we'll see what we can do with these, and we'll work with that. So that's our kind of roster. It's pretty decent. It's a bit stacked. I'm going to go through that and tidy it up a little bit and get people kind of in their correct roles and stuff like that. So we'll go from there. I'll quickly go through our titles. Our US champion is Sting. US champion Sting is a little bit of a problem because I just think this is meant to be a mid-tier title, and a prestige of 80 with Sting as your champion. It's just really hard to see where he's going to drop that, so I've got to work out a way of Sting dropping that, but Sting staying pretty strong and getting it kind of down into that mid-tier, I guess. Heavyweight is Hogan, prestige 92. He's going to be holding this for ages, I think. He might lose it a few times to some people, but we're going to keep Hogan pretty strong. Tag team, Bunkhouse Buck and Dick Slater. These two can absolutely go in the bin. They are going to lose this title fairly quickly, I would imagine. Because even at the time they were rubbish. They're absolutely nobodies. How on earth they've had a title run is beyond me. So we're going to do our best to bin them off as quick as possible. And our television champion, I like the television title. A prestige of 58 is pretty high, but I like the television title because I like titles that get defended every week, that we're there. Doesn't matter what we're doing, that belt is going to be on the line. The Renegade has it at the moment, so our Ultimate Warrior knockoff as champion, yeah. I think you can hear the disappointment in my voice. I'm not really sure what to do with him, but we'll see what happens. He's down there. He's a kind of jobber as himself at the moment, so we've got to try and do our best to try and push that up a little bit higher, I guess, but we'll see. And then we've got the World War III, 3-man, 60-man Battle Royale. Oh, my God. I mean, when is this booked for? I don't know. We might carry on with that. We might not. That's a pretty horrendous thing to book, especially I don't even have 60 wrestlers, let alone enough to have a pay-per-view and this match. So we'll be having, just I don't know what to do with that. So we'll ignore that for the time being. Let's quickly look at our creative. So obviously our big names, Sting, Randy, Hulk, Flair, Luger. Obviously these are the guys we're going to base most of the show around. We're going to see an awful lot of promos, a lot of in-ring action from these guys. Next big thing, well, Chris Benoit, our kind of black sheep of things going on there. So yeah, we'll see what we do with him. Eddie Guerrero, I mean, no way we can avoid pushing this guy. This guy's going to get a good run, I would imagine, at some point. Hot prospects, Benoit Guerrero, William Regal, fantastic. Marcus Bagwell, yeah, I'm happy with Marcus Bagwell being up there. We can push him, and bloody hell, and the Renegade. He's a dark horse for future success. He's showing signs of turning into a fantastic in-ring performer. Oh, perhaps Renegade could become my my William Regal with face paint, I guess. Yeah, maybe that's made me rethink things. Maybe I'll give him a little bit of a push. To be fair, he's going to be wrestling an awful lot, so hopefully his in-ring skills can go up. We might stick in some matches with some people and see where we go from there, I guess. But we'll see how that goes. Talk the talk. Hogan, Savage, Flair, myself, Dusty Rhodes and Sting. These guys are all going to be cutting promos and get a lot of promo time, so nothing surprising there. Our showstoppers in the ring: Sting, Pillman, Flair, Randy, and Eddie Guerrero. Pretty much as I would expect. These guys are going to be putting on some pretty big matches. These are the ones who I'm really going to want to base all of my pay-per-views around. I want to get the pay-per-views and have all of these guys heavily, prominently shown and featured, because I want to be really pushing those matches. Our ring generals: Flair, obviously, Malenko, Benoit, Anderson, and Sting. Fairly obvious ones. Malenko seems like a fairly decent shout for maybe that TV title. There's a guy who, if we get wrestling every week at 35, he's got fairly little in the way as charisma or a microphone goes, but if we can stick him in the ring and he's wrestling people every week, he is only going to improve the guys he's wrestling with. So there's maybe a guy who's kind of built for that TV title, I guess, maybe. So we'll see. Perhaps we'll have him and the Renegade facing off in some way, shape or form. Who's hot? Well, as if we needed to ask. Hulk Hogan is hot. He is the man, brother. He is hot. His momentum is through the roof. Everything's going his way. I mean, that's how Hulk Hogan's career worked for about 30 years. So there we go. Who's not? Absolutely no one. So this is good. We'll see who ends up getting a few losses and gets pushed in there, but Kamala on his way out might find himself in there. Hidden gems. This is where I'm going to kind of set myself some limitations. Hidden gems here. I mean, we've got the Road Dogg Jesse James, we've got Gangrel, Joey Legend, Christian, Rikishi. You know, I know all the big names of the mid-90s wrestling. I know who's going to go on to be big. I know we're going to have your Foleys, your Austins, your Rocks, all of these kind of guys. I don't want to make this too unrealistic. I don't want to go through and bloat my roster with absolutely all the superstars and end up kind of falling apart because you've just got too many Indians, not enough Chiefs. No, too many Chiefs, not enough Indians, I guess. I don't want to bloat my roster with the next superstars. I want to wait and kind of build guys, and if it makes sense that these guys would join, or perhaps they're floundering or perhaps haven't found somewhere, then I might look at bringing them in, but I don't want to be too quick bringing loads of people in. So that's all of our creative there. That's pretty interesting. We'll go through our stables. We've only got a couple of them at the moment. We've got the Dungeon of Doom, which is the Master with the Taskmaster. I absolutely love this picture. He's got Kamala, Meng, the Shark, Zodiac, and, well, the Giant who's there. I'm going to heavily feature these like they were kind of featured at the time in 95. I want them to be a little bit more dark and mysterious than they were, but I don't know. It's a pretty hokey band of idiots anyway, so we'll see what goes on there. We've got the Blue Bloods, which is Robert Eaton and William Regal. I might try and do something here. If anyone knows of any British wrestler at the time that I could bring in who might be worthwhile adding to this, or someone that makes sense, that'd be kind of good. I'd like to feature them a lot because I'd like to push William Regal quite a lot. Then we've got the Stud Stable, Bunkhouse Buck, Colonel Parker, Dick Slater, and Kurosawa. I mean, that's absolutely going a bin straight off the bat, can't they? They're absolutely terrible, so don't expect to see anything from the Stud Stable. It's a stupid name. A bad idea from Bad Creative. Isn't that the one? The only other one we've got here is the Four Horsemen. I'm going to have a storyline based around the Four Horsemen. We've got Flair and we've got Anderson in the Four Horsemen. I'm not sure Benoit and Mongo are the guys I want in it, so I might be doing a kind of Who Wants to Join the Horsemen kind of storyline, and if you've got any ideas on who we should bung in the Horsemen, please let me know. That'd be very, very useful. If we have a quick look at the schedule, this is another thing I was just going to quickly go through. We've got a pay-per-view every month. It's going to be every Sunday. Fourth Sunday of the month. Oh, I'll get there in the end. So we're going to go for every fourth Sunday of the month, I think. Just to keep the schedule there. We've got our New Japan Super Show that's meant to happen now. I'm going to cancel that because even in real life it was a bit of a busted flush. It didn't make sense at the time. It's a bit of a the forbidden door opened before the forbidden door even existed kind of thing. I don't think that's going to be very easy for me to book to make a successful show. Down here we've got the Great American Bash. I'm going to sort this out. One other thing you'll learn about me is I love the aesthetics and things need to look nice. So the fact we've got no pay-per-view pictures, I'm going to have to go through and change this because this is ugly and I want that to change. So Great American Bash, we're going to slip that back in the your time has come. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? We've got Nitro. Again, I'm going to have to get a picture for that. Nitro is our 1 hour TV show. Wow. Hardly any time at all for a show, but it's an hour, so that's kind of cool. We're happy with that. We've got Saturday night and we've got main event. These are two B shows. Now, the problem we've got, I don't mind B shows because what we're going to use the A show is going to be our main event as kind of beating anyone. But to give anyone else on the roster a bit of momentum, they're going to need to have these B shows to pick up wins. However, we've got main event is an hour long and we've got Saturday night is 2 hours long. I'm going to have to bin off one of these shows because I'm not booking 3 hours of B show every week with only one A show. So let me know, what should I keep? Saturday night or main event? I'm going to cut whatever it is down to 1 hour. So one of them's got to go. So can't be dealing with that. Lastly, I'm just going to look at the storylines before we get going. We're going to see what we're going to keep here. So I've got to have 3 storylines with more than 50 heat. That's quite easy. I like the sound of that. What have we got here? Hogan versus Dungeon of Doom. Yep, more than happy with that. Road Warrior Hawk versus Kurosawa. Absolutely no way that's going to carry on. Sting versus Ric Flair. I mean, this is basically WCW in a nutshell for about 15 years. Sting versus Ric Flair, fantastic. We're going to see how they get on, and we're going to see what happens there. We'll see what we can book there. I like Flair, I like Sting. I don't know, maybe this is a bit too early for these two, who knows. The Stud Stable, Boo, versus Harlem Heat. I mean, that makes no sense. It's a heel stable versus a heel stable. It's considered hot, God knows. So yeah, we might carry on that. I'm going to have to add a few extra storylines in here so that we can keep that going. We need 3 over 50, so I think I'm going to need to have probably 5 storylines going on at a time. We need to get Macho, we need to get probably take the Giant out of there and get something going on, and we need to get some mid-carders pushed up. So yeah, I know it's been a bit whirlwind here. I've probably rambled on a little bit longer than I wanted to, probably going through some of the roster stuff, but I just wanted to get an overview of everything that's going to go on in this game, give the idea of what we're trying to do. We've got $25 million, and Dusty Rhodes has got the book to try and overthrow WWF, and that is the nutshell. As I say, there will be more videos. I'm going to do videos properly edited together of the results, and I will just do some live videos of me booking, because it's quite nice to get a bit of a community and people coming on and getting involved in that way. But until next time, please do like this video, because that really helps push me up the ratings and gets more eyes on the prize, and do subscribe and hit that bell so you hear about every video I'm uploading and whenever I'm going live. And hopefully, if you've got any ideas, please do stick them in the comments. I'd love to know about tag teams, because tag teams we've got is fairly weak in here as well at the moment. So if anyone's got any ideas, some 1995 tag teams that would be good to have, that would be good, because you know, at the moment we've just not really got a lot of exciting ones going on. So anything to kind of jazz that up would be great. We've got the Nasty Boys, we've got Harlem Heat. Outside of that, it's not great. So yeah, American Males are okay, but again, not massively important. So yeah, if anyone's got any idea of tag teams, that'd be great. But yeah, until next time, please do like, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Take care.